that, let's welcome in Shaun King.
Shaun, last week you got on me when I said it was Jameis's worst game. You defended him. Can't defend this one, can you? I mean, he was brutal in this game.
Get out the way, Bull. First of all, let's just say happy holidays to everybody there in Cleveland. As you go shopping for Christmas gifts, whatever you believe in, whether it's Jesus, Yeshu, Allah, I want you to go out and get a Bible, a Quran, a rosary, something, and just pray for the Browns. Because there's a sorcery that's attached to this team that I never understood until this year. I'm watching.
Welcome to the family, Shaun.
I mean, Nick Chubb's fumbling. I mean, here's what's so crazy about this past game before I get to what you said, Bull. And I'm not comparing the two quarterbacks, but Jameis and Patrick played the exact same game. The Chiefs just caught all of Jameis's mistakes, and the Browns dropped all of Patrick's.
Yeah, well, listen.
The Chiefs,
Patrick didn't play well. He didn't play well.
Very ordinary.
The Browns could have had 5 or 6 interceptions Sunday. They dropped every one of them.
Well, to be fair, in that first game that Jameis won against the Ravens, they dropped like 4 or 5 interceptions.
Well, the key one at the end, they did.
They dropped a big one at the end.
It was crazy. Over the year, that all equals out.
Last week against the Steelers, the D tackle, I think it was Beaton, makes an unbelievable interception on Jameis on the screen. Against the Chiefs, Myles Garrett's got a chance to make the same kind of interception on a Mahomes screen and just can't hold it. So I'll say this. If they decided to bench Jameis, I can't argue with it. I thought this was, just from a decision-making standpoint, the first game I thought he didn't see the field well. I thought as I watched him play, he was trying to balance being aggressive with being careful with the football. And just because of the game flow, sometimes it's hard to do that. I mean, you got to look at it like this. The Browns fumble, the opening punt?
Yeah.
The Chiefs get it. They go up, they score, so you're already playing from behind. On the first interception, I thought it was a force, but it was nobody else open either. I thought the coverage fooled him. I don't think he saw the backside DB fall into that post, but there was nobody else open. The second one, it's a tip ball to Chubb. Gets picked. And the third one, the guy from Kansas City said he looked up at the damn Jumbotron and saw Jameis throwing the ball and turned around and got a pick.
That's funny.
The team is snake bit. Yeah, if you go
can we not put live action in the Jumbotron?
He did say that, by the way. Trent McDuffie said he had no idea Jameis had thrown the ball. He was looking backwards and turned around, and the ball landed in his lap. I'm serious. He legitimately said that. He told Darren. He actually told Darren Smith that after the game.
So it's one of those things. I still think Jameis is extremely talented. At the end of the day, it's a result-oriented business, and it didn't work out. It didn't.
Shaun, do you think defenses are doing something differently now because they've had more of an opportunity to see what throws it is he likes to make? Because you said that you thought this was the first game that he wasn't seeing the field. Is that a result of what, by the way, Kansas City's defense and their defensive coordinator is one of the best in the game. But is that you think possibly what's going on here?
He hadn't had an easy stretch here. Steelers, Chiefs, Chargers, they've had some tough games. The one that really stands out to me is the 4th and 1, where it wasn't an interception, but they ran the ball with Chubb on 3rd and 2. Chubb got stopped short. They decided play action pass on 4th down, and Jameis had 81. Sorry, 81. You're one of those guys I hadn't seen play. Yeah, I hadn't seen play all year that keeps popping up in these games now that Jameis is the quarterback. That's a shot at the Browns a little bit for not having great personnel. He had 81 wide open. And he didn't see the coverage clearly, and that could have been an easy first down. So I'm talking more from just determining where to go with the ball. I thought he was high on a couple throws he normally makes. But hey, I'm not down on Jameis. I'm down on the Browns. They got to do. I don't know when the last time that the building just So I grew up not poor, but I didn't grow up with money either. If that makes sense. So sometimes you had to fumigate the house, and you go in the neighborhood and they got like this big. A cover over the house so they can get all the bugs and all the bad stuff out the house. Maybe Cleveland just need to do that to the facility. Just close the facility down for a week put one of them big insect covers over the entire facility and debug the place.
So instead of building a dome, we just need to add a tent.
Kevin Stefanski just officially announcing that DTR will start. It had been reported, but he just now announced it. You have any hope for him, Shaun?
None.
Wow.
I don't either. So.
Is it the skill set, or you just don't think it's set up right for him?
I mean, a young quarterback coming into this situation, I mean, come on. How's he going to flourish and succeed?
At least he had 90 minutes notice that he was going to be playing.
I would anticipate that Njoku probably won't be back. Judy is a bright spot. He's emerged as a legitimate, if not a legitimate 1B caliber receiver. I thought Jerome Ford did some explosive things in space that we hadn't seen for a while. But other than that, the offensive line is not really pass protected at a high level. From a run-backing standpoint, they're awful. I mean, what does the young quarterback have going on from a support system around him to really flourish? Like, I'm looking at it more from that aspect than I am a knock on DTR and his ability.
He is getting to play against one of the worst defenses in the league this year, so that's something. There's not much else. I agree with you, but at least it's against the bad defense this week. However, the Bengals have a good offense, so he's going to have
forced to throw and throw a lot. And usually, when defenses know that, they're at a disadvantage.
I mean, but you got to think that the Bengals just got Will Levis fired the week before, man. What they had, like 22 interceptions in one game, 6 return for touchdown. Like they coming in confident.
I'd love you to break down that film because I was watching some of that game, and Will Levis made some of the worst throws I've ever seen a quarterback make. He was I don't know what he was seeing. I'd love you to break that down, but go ahead, Dustin.
Go ahead, Shaun. You got something on Will Levis? You want to talk some mayonnaise? Or?
Yeah, I was going to say Will Levis is why they should not let any NFL decision maker participate in the pre-draft process that didn't play football. If you're an analytic numbers guy, because when Will walks in the building, he looks like Adonis. Like if y'all
Brady
met
Quinn, man.
Will Levis,
he looks just like Brady Quinn.
Yeah, he's got perfect analogy. But if you look at his tape at Kentucky, this is what he was at Kentucky. I don't know why people won't believe what they see. Like you look at Caleb Williams right now, and people are like, "What is he doing?" This was what he did at USC. They just had better players than everybody they played against, so it worked.
That's partly why Ohio State has not had great quarterback play in the NFL. Yeah. They always have the best linemen. They always have the best wide receivers. They're playing against inferior talent week in and week out. You give a quarterback 4.5 seconds, 5 seconds to throw the ball, he looks great. And then he comes to the league, and he's never had to diagnose defenses, and he's never had to hurry his throw every single time. And there's a long line of failed quarterbacks that come out of Ohio State, and I think it's partly the same thing.
Hey, Jay, right before Dustin asked this question.
Yeah, sorry.
Ohio State self-sabotaged themselves. I mean, they recruited. They're the only school in the country that's been competitive with LSU from a wide receiver talent standpoint over the last 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And out of all the quarterbacks in the portal, they went and got Walker Howard.
Will Howard, yeah.
Guy from K-State. I mean, Will Howard, a guy from K-State. And they went and got the most conservative play caller they could find in Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
Like,
meantime, Kyle McCord finishes 10th in the Heisman ballot.
It's like they tried to become It's like they've tried to become Michigan overnight. Like we're gonna play boring football and run the ball and play defense and just have the quarterback manage the game. It's almost like they tried to mimic Michigan in one offseason.
Shaun, is there anything that can happen in the final 3 games here that could cost Stefanski and Barry their jobs?
The owner could sell the team.
So you're convinced they're back?
I mean, if they weren't going to be back, why are they still there? I mean, it's not like they've started winning games. I mean, they've gotten exciting under Jameis, but they haven't really turned into a whole bunch of wins. So if they were going to fire him, why wouldn't they have already fired him?
A lot of teams just don't fire coaches until the end of the year.
Unless you have a complete bonehead gaff like Eberflus in Chicago, who basically signed his own pink slip there with that decision. I think it's sort of rare to see it, but I don't know. I guess I wonder if you're seeing enough, Shaun, from your perspective, breaking down this film every week, watching these quarterbacks, and watching what the game plans are, and watching Dorsey with the play calls and Stefanski and how he handles the situation. Do you see things that give you encouragement that things can get better next year?
Think long, you think wrong.
So it's interesting because the GM will already be gone, in my opinion.
I'm with you. I think Barry's gone.
I agree.
Yeah, when I look at the team, I don't see enough top level talent.
Yep.
I see high draft picks. I see highly paid guys, but I don't see super talented guys across the field. And that's defense and offense. I mean, you got your Myles Garrett, you got your Jerry Jeudy, who's kind of emerged. But, like, when you look at this team and they play other NFL teams, they don't look like the most talented team on any Sunday.
Man, you just stole my whole question. For me, I got an initiative. It's called Project Stockpile. And every offseason, we come to the offseason, and they tell me, oh, we don't need this guy. We don't need that guy. They make up any excuse. He's old. He talks too much. He chews gum on the wrong side of the street. They don't want nobody. When I look at the Cleveland Browns, and I'm just going to be honest with you, when I've been a Browns fan my whole life, I have never woke up one Saturday or Sunday and been like, boy, look how fast those Cleveland Browns are out there. Look how hard they're a blur out there. No, they look like various degrees of trying hard. Trying hard does not matter. I don't want tryhards. I want explosive athletes. And why is it that we don't have? I watch these other teams. I'm like, we ain't got nothing like this. We just don't got them. I don't see no athletes, man.
It's so funny. You guys have got some super Browns fans here in Las Vegas. One of them is a good friend of mine named Shannon. And when we watch the games at the lounge on Sundays, we've got all the games on. And he's always got one TV with the Browns game on. So I can watch it too now because I'm doing this show. And the whole game, he's like, why we don't run that play? Why we don't have that player? It's every Sunday.
You call plays. I just want to ask this question and you can tell me if I'm dumb or not. So, like, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I'm watching the Chiefs, right? And I'm watching the Packers or I'm watching somebody with good offense, why can't they just simply say, hey, a video coordinator, give me all the 11 personnel that the Chiefs got, right? All of them. Or they give me all the 21 personnel, or give me all of the King Trip stuff that they doing over there. And then you get it all in film and you just basically steal those plays.
Well, you don't have Patrick Mahomes.
No. I just want to steal the concept and be like, I'm going to steal this concept.
Oh, you're like playing Madden. You want to take the playbook from, or like college football.
Yeah.
Take the Oregon playbook.
I want your whole playbook, and then I'm going to take a hodgepodge of the best playbooks from the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to put that in this week. If you can't, am I dumb for saying why don't they just steal these other people's plays?
No, I don't think you're dumb, Bush. I listen to your show, by the way.
It is a copycat league, though, to some degree.
Great job. It's always the plays are very similar around the league. So the Chiefs are winning this year, and here's why the Chiefs are so good. They've created, Andy Reid, when I say they, is at the forefront of that, a culture that has a motto: no excuses, no explanations. Right? So they are all banged up at wide receiver. All their top guys are hurt. Rasheed Rice out for the year. Hollywood Brown still not back. But they're so good on defense, they can commit to running the ball, even when they're not successful running the ball, and kind of dink and dunk pass it, because their defense keeps them in the game. Mm-hmm. And then you count on Mahomes to make 2 or 3 great plays a game, and they're winning that way. Mm-hmm. Like, you go look at Buffalo. Buffalo's winning because Josh Allen is playing out of his mind right now. I don't know that Buffalo's offensive talent is light years ahead of Cleveland's, but the quarterback is playing at an MVP level. You know, it's different. For years, Baltimore has won with great defense and a strong run game and Lamar Jackson's feet. This year, they're throwing the ball all over the field, but the defense is terrible. So it's like year to year, it's a lot different. if you're asking me specifically about Stefanski and Dorsey, they're just going to be collateral damage if I own the Browns. Like, I wasn't, like, telling a joke earlier when I was talking about they got to fumigate the Browns facility, but I really mean that. I'm firing everybody. Equipment guy, training guy. The only people safe are the secretaries. Everybody else is gone in the building. I'm talking about, I'm getting rid of entire departments. Because somebody in here got a root on us. And since nobody will acknowledge and admit to it, I'm getting rid of everything and everybody. Sometimes you got to start over.
I'm gonna end this by shocking Shaun right now, because as much as we've gone at it about Jameis Winston, I actually would still consider bringing him back next year if I were the Browns. I don't think they're going to, but I would, because if they draft a quarterback, whether it's the first round, third round, whatever it is, the Browns too often have forced their young quarterbacks to start before they were ready. And I honestly believe, even with his flaws, that Jameis is the best option of the veteran quarterbacks out there to at least make them competitive as a bridge quarterback.
So here's what's interesting. I'm going to be very fascinated about this year's free agency, because this is a very weak quarterback draft, right?
Yeah.
So there are only two guys that have first-round grades, and in my opinion, Shador and Cam are mid to late round, first-round picks, not early, but they're going to go early because of sparsity. So if, let's say, Giants, Raiders go quarterback, what is Tennessee doing at quarterback? You know, what are some of these other teams that need a quarterback and there aren't any this year? What are they going to do? I mean, so I'm going to be interested, does Jameis get an opportunity to go somewhere and be a bridge starter somewhere where he doesn't have this stretch, you know, on his resume? Possible. This is going to be, I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you look at the landscape, this isn't a great quarterback draft, and there are some quarterback needy teams.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold, if the Vikings don't sign him, I mean, you'd think they would, but, you know, they did draft McCarthy pretty high, and Sam Darnold's going to get a lot of money, so somebody's going to sign him. Justin Fields may get an opportunity to start somewhere. But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks.
Last year at this time, and he wasn't turning the ball over, but people said Russell Wilson was washed.
Yeah.
Yep. He was the reason Denver wasn't winning.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's going to be and to the NFC North's credit, damn, they get the quarterback situations right. Packers drafted Jordan Love when they had Aaron Rodgers. They drafted Aaron Rodgers when they had Brett Favre.
The Bears.
People forget the Lions have the kid from Tennessee who tore his ACL sitting in the wings now, just learning.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota signed.
I did too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota signs Sam Darnold to a 2-year deal and give J.J. McCarthy another year to get all the way healthy next year and learn more.
I would do it if I were them.
Has done that. They've drafted.
I actually think Caleb Williams is a good quarterback, Shaun. I don't know about you.
I think he's good.
I just think he's in a terrible situation. I know they have talent there, but they're just so poorly run. They've had bad coaches. They got a terrible offensive line. I think Caleb has shown enough that I think he's good. I just think it's been a tough rookie year.
So there's power in the tongue, and words matter, boy. So he's not a good quarterback. He's a talented quarterback. There's a difference between those two things.
That's fair.
And he needs, but it's semantics, but it's very, very important.
I think it's a.
You're right. You're right. That's fair.
It's a great point. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he has to have an offensive guy come in that's actually super, super elite from the discipline side. Because Caleb has some things he has to fix before he can become a good player. He doesn't see the field well from the pocket. And he's always been able to rely on his talent and ability to cover it up by extending the play, making some incredible throw. But if you go back and look at I watched all 22, not just the Browns, from all the quarterbacks I'm interested in. And there's some guys wide open in this Bears system. And he just doesn't get them the ball in rhythm on time. So he's got to have somebody going to hold him accountable to that if he wants to get better. And the last point I'll make about this draft class, isn't Shador Sanders and Cam Ward kind of less talented versions of Caleb Williams in a lot of ways? Don't their games mimic? They just don't have the arm talent or and aren't as elite of an athlete as Caleb can be at times.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sean. Sometimes I get nervous now when somebody says they play off platform or play off schedule. That look cute. That look nice when you dropping dimes from 3/4 length and all this other stuff. But I need somebody that could just hit a receiver on a 3-step, 5-step one time sometimes, man. And college quarterbacks now don't be having that.
No. If you want to see something funny, guys, and I know when you're a Browns fan, boy, you need some levity in your life. So I don't know, whatever your favorite comic movie is, go watch it, man. You guys had me in the dump Sunday, and my Bucks are kicking butt, and y'all had me feeling a certain kind of way. What was it about? I missed my point. God damn it, I was about to say something.
There was some movie you were going to mention.
Tell us to watch what movie to watch to make us laugh.
No. Okay, good catch, Jay. This is why they pay Jay the big money. You're the best, man. Sorry, guys, man. I took a lot of hits to the head. I'm short-term memory leaving. If you want to see something funny, go and watch the Bears wide receivers when Caleb Williams starts doing all that foolishness. They don't even do the scramble drill no more. I swear, they don't do the scramble drill anymore. Dustin, they just be looking at this fool like, all right, don't run around. I ain't going nowhere else.
Deep guys don't come short. Short guys don't go deep. They just look around.
They just looking at him.
That's bad.
They so sick of Caleb Williams. They don't know it. They are sick and tired of Caleb Williams. Think about the running it requires a receiver to run your route that's on the call play. And then your quarterback is scrambling 75% of the time. And then they want you to reroute and go cross field.
Yeah, you're exhausted.
Your boys ain't even moving no more.
Sean, we got to run. Merry Christmas, brother.
Thanks, Sean.
Merry Christmas, man.
Hey, love you guys, man. Hopefully Tulane keeps it competitive Friday against Florida. I hope so, man.
I think.
Love y'all. Y'all have a great Christmas, man.
You
Blessings to everybody and their family.
See you, bro.